my cup. In the session real loud, good cash, yeah, you know we about to roll it up. Bring the bottles to the session, big tab, go ahead and just live it up. Get lit one night, after that we can go ahead.
What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Icon E, and we're here on 95 South Podcast. Once again, I want to thank God for this opportunity to be able to come on here and just have another great and awesome show, an educational show, and just, enlighten people and give them information that they need out here. That's what this is all about. First and foremost, I want to introduce my partner, King Jacob, a.k.a. Great Jacob the Great, a.k.a. Midnight Love Voice. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, Doc?
What's up, everybody, man? Welcome to the 95 South Podcast, man. Where we bring you the best news, media, and we bring you informative information, man. Just want to say we all blessed to be on this side of the dirt because, this thing called society can be very cold and it can be very treacherous. So, just want to say salute to everybody that's on the show this morning, man. Salute. So we have another star-studded episode, man, with I like to call him my homie, my bro, business partner. We've been rocking for some years now. When I first met this man, he had a backpack with about 1,000 CDs in him, and I called him the next day. He said, "Them CDs gone." That's when I feel like the grind was real with artists. You know what I mean? When artists had to really get out there and go get it. So none other than Lou Almighty. What's up, brother?
Peace. What up? How y'all gentlemen doing?
Good.
Doing well, man.
Good.
Doing well, man.
Good. Doing well.
So, man, Lou Almighty, man, I've been rocking you for a minute. I done seen your grind. I done seen your growth, man. So to properly or formally, tell the audience who you are, man. Who would you say Lou Almighty is?
Man, I'm God child first. I'm a creator from the mighty God, mighty Allah, whatever you want to call the magnificent. I'm a father. I'm a child. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a thinker. I'm a brother. I'm one of the things that they call a human, man. I'm just a regular human being, but I just put my most out here. Like you said, when you started the show, we could be in this dirt. So I just give my best foot forward, because time limited.
That's right. So before we get started into who you are as an artist, man, let's start into you as an executive. I've been rocking with Classified Music Group for a very, very long time, man. I seen you coming out the threshold, creating Classified Music Group. Why did you want to create an artist development firm instead of a whole label? Why do you feel you need to put artists through development so we can see their expertise shine through the platform of the artwork of music?
Yeah, really, I come from the ground level of it, man. When I first started as an artist, I was signed to an independent label, and just watching the whole development of stages from that label and me being an artist on that label, I knew it was more because I was watching, all the artists around me, even myself, growing, and I was watching the growth part of it. I was producing, I was doing it all at that time in my career. I was making some crazy hot beats. I was selling beats back in the day, back in the early 2000s, like for the prices that they selling them for now. So, I'm gonna pick my production all the way back up. But I was just watching it from a ground level, and me being an artist that watch, man, I really like to sit back and watch. And me watching a lot of the artists that got signed to the label, and like we used to compete, as friendly competition though. But hearing the sound quality from a lot of the artists' music, even some of my songs, and then when I get into a real big professional studio, I'm like, hold up, man, we gotta step it up. You like this a whole different ball game. So that gave me the creative concept to never go in the studio unprepared. You know, when we was inside that independent label, we'd go in the back. My man had the studio in the back of his crib. We'll go back there well unprepared, writing songs on the spot, or, you know, freestyling songs. And, you know, it was fun. But like I say, when you get around those professionals in that real field, it's a whole different ball game, man. It was like, it was really like, you know, like watching like real professionals play in that field. And when the real professionals come in there, they don't play, man. They go straight to work. Even if they is freestyling, it's a well calculated freestyle. I had to learn. You got freestyling on the spot, and you got well thought of freestyles, things that you done thought of, things that you done wrote out, and you can magnificently put it together because you done orchestrated it from practice and practice and practice. So, you know, that's what the Jay-Z's and the Lil Waynes come from. You know, they come from practicing so much that, yeah, this is a freestyle, bro. I got so much stuff in my head and so much stuff wrote down, it became a lyrical exercise. So watching that, I knew it was more important to have an artist that's well-rounded, well-developed, and even, you know, with the mentality to come in thinking like a business instead of thinking like an artist, because, you know, I had partners back then pulling out the paperwork, but we wasn't doing it. So I had to go learn the paperwork. Then when I learned that one of my boys, I'm going to shout him out, my man Deacon Lane, he had copyrights paperwork back then. He had like the BMI stuff back then, but back then it was Taxi and it was another real popular one. I forget the name of it.
Taxi and Artist PR. And Artist PR still
Artist
around.
PR and they still got the other one around, CD Baby. So they've been around for a long time. And when he pulled out them documents, it made me go home and study like, yo, we still missing a lot of key components. We want to be artists, but nobody really taking it serious. So that made me just step up that whole part back in the day. You know, I became like basically like an outcast. You know, I had partners really trying to compete with me on a different level now, all because they saw my competitive nature, but they also saw me getting booked in different areas. Now I was getting booked for shows, and it was like, no lie, man, it was like 15 artists signed to that one label. But I was the only one getting like serious bookings. I was getting paid shows back then in the early 2000s. Like Jacob say, I was hands and feet with it, bags full, trunk full. I had like 10,000 CDs in my trunk of my car, 1,000 in my backpack, and I'm out there in the streets selling them. So my work ethic picked up a lot of ears and a lot of eyes, and I got booked. So, you know, that just made me say, yo, we really got to do it more serious. But a lot of those artists, they didn't see how serious it really was. You know, even still to this day, a lot of artists don't know how keen that paperwork is. You gotta do it the legal way if you want people to take your business acumen as legitimately. You know, you want to be known as a legit artist. You want to be known as a real artist. So in order for people to, you know, really pay attention to you and really take you serious, man, you gotta take yourself serious.
Right. And then since when you talk about your booking shows, and I'm gonna say this, Icon, then I'm gonna let you chime in with them. So I can remember back in the day, I seen you put out a flyer, right? You had some flyers, you was passing them out. You had the hard copy, but I think you went to Staples and got some copies made too. You was going to, I think, Florida, and you was on the Pitbull tour. Now, we know Pitbull and Flo Rida are two of the top selling artists in history. You know what I mean?
Right.
But for you to get on the Pitbull tour when he just did that song with Daddy Yankee and when he just had, you know, got into the T-Pain business and him and Flo Rida was working with T-Pain. Now we talking about 2004, 2005?
Yeah, around 2004, 2005.
You know, so how did you ink that, you know, orchestrate indie artists like yourself to get on the tour with a Pitbull that had just signed a deal for like $10.2 million with Atlantic?
Yeah, to touch both of them, you know, like you mentioned another name, man. I be forget, you know, I've been in the game so long, bro. I be forgetting who I really be on tours and be opening up for. I forget I did a show with Flo Rida, the Pitbull tour. that come from real humble beginnings, man. You know, like I tell any artist, you know, it's a saying out there, you want to treat the CEO just like you treat the janitor, or treat the janitor just like you treat the CEO. So long story short, the Pitbull show came from a security guard at another event that saw me perform. A security dude came up to me and said, "Hey man, I think you'll be good at this other event. I got to do a tour with Pitbull. I'm gonna take you on the road with me, and I'm gonna get you an opportunity to open up for Pitbull." Man, they can't pick me up, bro. I felt like a real superstar that day. Like, I had 2 security guards come pick me up, drive me out to the shows. I'm talking about, like, I go inside McDonald's, bro. They right there behind me. People asking me, "Yo, you a star? You a superstar?" I guess I am, you know. You know, I got the celebrity status to prove it. Shit, the security right here behind me to protect me. So, you know, that really came from a security guard, man. So never discredit a person that walks up to you on a show. I tell any artist, man, it could be a regular person that walk up to you and be like, "Man, you dope, man. I think I could put you on." Man, don't never discredit that person. Don't never turn that person away, because you never know who can give you your next opportunity. So that's how I really landed that, man. It came from security guard.
Okay, and so what about the Flow Rider event?
Yeah, that was just another show right after the Pitbull event, you know. Once I got picked to be on the Pitbull joint, and then the Pitbull, that show came from it went from one show to the whole tour. So I went from one event to them saying, "Yo, we want to pull you on the rest of the tour." And like I said, they drove me around, man. They picked me up. And the Flow Rider joint came up right after that from just doing a good job at that show, you know, just showing people, you know, your showmanship, going out there well prepared, you know. At that stage, especially at that point in my life, man, you know, I had so much stuff memorized that, man, I get on the stage, man, we can do freestyles on the stage, and we can drop acapella like how the artists do now. Like, it was easy for me, man. That was riding a bike. So, you know, that, like I said, it's just an exercise, man. The more you do it, the more you can be more creative. You know, you can't be creative if you're going up there not prepared. So I was just prepared.
Word. Okay. I can go and chime in, bro.
Well, it's kind of funny he said all that, because I got a friend that does security for Offset, Cardi B. And when I first met him, he was doing security for some artists that I was managing. And me and him kept a relationship over the last 10, 12 years. So when you say about you can't look down on nobody or look at somebody as just being there, that's very true. And it's another thing with artists I've always dealt with, you know, especially here in Atlanta. You could go to a show, an event, it might be 10 people in the crowd, but that one or two person might be a producer, might be a DJ, might be an executive. You just never know who's going to be in that crowd. So I always tell my artists, I don't care if it's 1,000 people or if it's 10 people. You know what I'm saying? When you leave off that stage, especially off of doing 1 or 2 songs, you need to be sweating like you done worked out in the gym, like you've been shooting ball for the last hour. You know what I mean? And I had a few artists that understood that, but a lot of them don't. Now, the question I wanted to ask you was, what's the biggest misconception or that the artists have in this industry because I know you do the consulting thing. So what's the biggest misconception that you have to because the artists are like almost brainwashed into thinking that they doing the right thing, but you have to tell them, no, you're going about it all wrong?
What I just told an artist the other day, they drop too much music without, you know, they think they celebrity too. Lil Baby can go in the studio, drop a song today, drop a song tomorrow. Drake and 21 Savage can drop an album today, and Drake can drop a new project before December. You know, they got the name, they got, you know, so much other stuff to go behind it. They got a whole engine behind them. But as an independent artist, and, you know, like, let me not use that word so freely too, because I put out a post a couple weeks ago. You know, we got to bring that term starving artists back, because a lot of these artists ain't independent. You know, being independent, you able to move free. You got the funding to back you up, you know. So a lot of these starving artists, man, they like to drop music with nothing behind it. You know, no marketing, no promo. Half of it don't be mixed and mastered. And then they ready to go drop the next song next week, and they ain't even get the attention from that last song that they need to survive to drop a new song. So, like I tell any artist, man, it's the same game. It just rinse and repeat. and you just got a different product, you know, especially with a lot of these young artists coming from a street mentality. Man, yo, it's the same thing. It's just a different product, man. You ain't finna go pick up a whole new pack and you ain't finished this last pack. Finish that project first. Finish this single right here. This single ain't done just because you got a couple thousand people listening to it, man. 7.8 some billion people out here in this world, about to be 8 billion, they saying. So, you know, like, you got a long way to go. Keep pushing that one record, you know, like, quit moving so fast. Get everybody, build up a bigger impact, you know, before you even do anything, and make sure your stuff professional. Make sure it's mixed and mastered. Don't put out no product that isn't ready, you know. Like I told this artist the other day, you know, he talking about shooting one video. Man, it's 10 to 15 videos in one video. You got the behind the scenes, you got the lyric video, you got you talking about the video, coming up with the concept. There's so many other ideas to build around that one project that you got a lot of work to do. You know, it's a lot of work behind
for all
one thing.
And you can get a royalty check for all that. The
For
behind
all
the
of them.
scenes, the lyrics.
For
Like,
all
man,
of
I told somebody, man, I interviewed the chick Gigi Miller. Gigi, I told you about her, she dope. She used to be a model. She was working with Twista, Common, you know, Crucial Conflict, you know, Poe Pimp. Like, she was a model back in the day. And she said that she seen artists not knowing their paperwork. So she said when she kind of started working with a few artists, got a few clients. Now, she started out with 2 clients. Now she got 741 clients, you know, and so she teach them how to get their paper. She teach them how to get paid. And she said, artist called her one day. She said, Miss Gigi, I had no idea. And she said, why you say that? She said, he said, I received 16 royalty checks this quarter.
Yep.
Well, listen, man. If you do that paperwork right, you can get the bag for the rest of your life, man.
Yeah, you can get up to 64 royalty checks.
Yeah, I know, but he was just talking about the 16 because he was only getting 4 at first. And so to go from getting 4 royalty checks to getting 16 royalty checks, you know,
that's a huge impact.
Yeah, huge impact. And so when you say about their paper and their indie artists, independence means I do what I want. I set my own time zone. I move how I want. I have the bag to invest how I want. And so it's a difference. Like you say, the starving artists, like they used to use back in the day. Yeah. Like Russell Simmons say, it's a lot of hot starving artists.
Yeah.
But they definitely need a budget behind them. And, you know, like I just look at how Method Man say. What Method Man say. He say, man, artists, your favorite artists, a lot of us had artist development deals. He said the whole Wu-Tang had an artist development deal before anybody know who he was. We had that.
Yeah.
That's how people knew who he was, through the artist development deal. And so me and Icon talk about this all the time. And so with that being said, Icon, I'm gonna go ahead and let you take it back and talk to him about the artist development. Because man, you talk about that all the time.
Well, see, this is what I'm gonna ask him too, because I think when he was saying about the starving artist thing, I talk to different artists and young people all the time, and you even see it on social media where a lot of artists feel like, oh, well, I'm gonna stay independent. I'm like, well, you only independent if you got a budget, if you got a bag to put behind you. So somebody asked me, well, what would it take for you to sign a record deal like with a major label? And I said, it's not always about the upfront money. It's about the way the contract is structured. It's about what you're getting out of it. It's about if you keep kind of creative control out the deal. It's a lot to go into a contract. Y'all worried about the upfront money and all this other stuff that you're going to have to pay back, and you ain't got no buzz. You ain't got nothing going for you. You missing steps. You don't want to go from A to Z. So my biggest thing, and you tell me if I'm wrong or right, because I know you really thick into this game or whatever. So you let me know if I'm wrong or right about if artists should be so focused on the independent route or if they should be focused on the best route.
Yeah, nah, they need to focus on the best route. You know, like you say, man, it take a lot of money to be independent. It take a lot of money to be independent. You know, I'm an independent artist, but I'm also interdependent. I've been getting government funding from the city of Charlotte since 2017. So they've been helping fund my artist development program. This program that we got called the Music and Art Expo. And if an artist ain't got the knowledge to go get the funding, man, step back and go deal with some people to get you the funding, because that's what the game is about. Even the major record labels go get funding. That's how you get your money. They ain't doing it themselves. They going out here dealing with investors, dealing with venture capitalists. These major labels, they got everybody psyched out thinking that they doing it on their own. No, they're not doing it on their own. They know how to build up the revenue. They know how to build up partnerships. That's why you can get that Coke endorsement deal, because they got that relationship. They done built up those relationships, and that's how they can get you the bag. So if you learn how to build up them relationships and do your business yourself, you can go get those endorsement deals. You can go get those sponsorships. You can go get those investors. You just gotta be able to maintain, a fluid way of thinking in this music business, being creative, and also micromanaging yourself until you're able to find somebody to help you manage. But even that part, artists be want to go get managers and they ain't got nothing to manage. Bro, what you need help with? What you need help? Do understand that word management? That means you can't do it no more yourself. You getting so much overflow, too many shows getting booked. My bag running over. My cup is running over. Now I need somebody to help me maintain it. That's what a manager is for. Like, you don't need that until you're able to say, man, I can't do it myself no more. So, they don't get it.
Yeah, because I think what happens is because we're in a society now with, people don't really interact and like to talk other than through social media and texting. I think a lot of these artists, they get managers because they don't want to sit down and do the business side. They just want to work on the music. So they eliminate themselves automatically from actually learning the business by saying, well, I'm just get somebody else to do all that stuff for me because I don't really like talking to people. And I have to tell my artists all the time, we get to these clubs and these events and stuff, walk around the room, introduce yourself, talk to other artists, talk to other executives, let them know that you're here. Yeah, they could talk to me all day, but if they don't talk to you, you can't really develop a relationship like that. You know what I'm saying? So you need to walk around the room and do all that stuff yourself. Don't wait for me to do everything. You know what I'm saying? Because this is, at the end of the day, I have to tell everybody, even my son, this is not my career. This is your career. If you put 100%, I'm gonna put 100%. If you put 50, I'm gonna put 50 because I don't see you doing nothing. So I'm just going, you know what I mean? So you guys, but basically, I'm gonna give it back to Jacob. I just wanted to throw that out there, but you know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Jacob.
So Lou, man, you did a lot, and see what people don't understand about you, how you involve your art form in the community, how you involve your art form into real estate. Like, you might be at a luncheon was with some real estate investors, or what we call economic investors, but y'all will be talking about the real estate and land and duplexes and stuff like that. By the way, I'm also the CEO of Classified Music Group. Oh, really?
Right.
What is that? What is that? That's an artist development firm. And so that strikes up a whole nother conversation about bringing music to their major events, just like the boat party, just like the lake house. And so how do you ink those type of deals?
Man, you kind of put it into the whole narration by saying how you said it. Like, I don't even mention the music part first, man. I do the business first. And, I got a strong sense of, studying the person that I'm building with, learning them first, especially if I get a chance to talk to them beforehand. But if it's like a new person, I just come in, listening first, seeing, like one of my investors told me, one of my business partners, he told me a long time ago, he said, Louis, the way you gonna get the most money, man, by fixing all your friends' problems. So I took that with a lot of sensibility and said, yo, let me think about this a lot more on what he really saying. So instead of just helping friends, though, I decided to start listening to everybody's problems, like what they really need help at. And then I come in and find my way of not only fixing it, but helping them maintain it. And, with the artist development part, our thing is to educate you. So I'm gonna educate you on where you lacking that, you know, especially if I can hear it and it's something that I can help you with. I'm definitely gonna do that. So, you know, like one of my main investors, man, one of my main dudes, it started out like that. We were just talking about business. He was talking about real estate, and you know, giving me the ins and out on real estate. And one day he just called me out the blue, like, "Hey, man, we just had this dinner party at my house, man, and one of my other partners played your music, man, on Pandora. I didn't know you was doing music." I started laughing. He was like, "Man, come over, man. I need to talk to you." And that's what made him start investing into the music part. He didn't even know I did music. He just saw the business side first, you know. That's the
Mhm.
main thing I try to show. I try to show people, you know, it's all about business first. At the end of the day, if the business makes sense and we can come to some type of way that we both can make money, everything else gonna fill void. You know, you gonna fill up all the other parts that's voided. You know, you ain't even gotta talk about the music. You ain't got to talk about the music company yet. They gonna want to know more after you know you able to help with the first part. If you tell me about a real estate project or you need me to go out here and find some buildings or find something for you, once I find it and fulfill your need, now we gonna have discussions about everything else. So I tell the artists, don't mention the music first. Try to get to know that investor. Try to get to know that manager. Try to get to know whoever you talking to at first, and try to find a way that you could come in and play a part, and then everything else will work out.
So with that being said, this leads me to this. So you have some classes that's coming available, you know, for artists, promoters, DJs, just regular business people as a whole. Whether you're an
Right.
author, you know, whether you do any form of entertainment, whether you're an author, whether you do a podcast, whether you do an independent radio station. So let's talk about those two tiers that you have, those two packages that you have, and that you're offering to the public, and how this can help the public get over the threshold that they've been in for the last, how it can help a business owner get over the threshold they've been in for the last 10 years.
Yeah. So the music course we're gonna do it either at the end of the month or right at the top of December. I'm trying to structure everything together and bring in a couple partners that's gonna help me, you know, give the business owners and the artists the most benefits. But right now, you know, the main ingredients is, you know, helping a person create an entity, create that LLC or that nonprofit organization so they can, you know, take advantage of what they haven't been taking advantage of. And that's the main thing is the funding. You know, a lot of people don't know how to get funded. I got the key ingredients to go out here and go get the funds directly from the sources, and you don't have to go out here begging people. You can go out here and create. And once you create that entity, once you create that LLC, you already eligible to get funds and push your career. But I like to educate the people. You know, once you get the funds, don't go out here and fumble the bag again and put yourself back in a position where you back out here starving and back out here begging. You want to create something that gonna create longevity. You want to create a business, and like I tell a lot of artists, you know, just like my mentors told me, you're gonna make the most money doing what you're doing every day. So if you want those couch potatoes and you sitting around watching TV all day, go out here and create a business that you doing reviews on movies and TV shows. Create a YouTube channel about that. Go out here and create your business cards telling people you review their product, review their stores, review anything about what they doing. Now you done created a business. And once that business start making a source of income, get that LLC, make it legit. Now get the funding behind it. Like now you got a business that you have created a substantial amount of money and revenue coming in. Now you can focus on being an independent artist because now you don't have no lackluster. Now you don't have nothing over your head saying you can't be creative no more. You done found out a way to make the money, make the funds. So that's the main thing I want to show artists how to get, or even the small business owners how to get the funds. The first thing we want to create that entity, create that LLC. I would prefer you to create a nonprofit organization, get a 501c3 because you already doing community work if you out there hands and feet in the street, helping people, giving people guidance, doing things in the community. You already got that established. So now just go make it legit, get that 501c3. So when you get these funds now, you ain't got to pay it back. You ain't got to worry about no overhead. You ain't got to worry about it being a loan and you having to pay it back. You can get the funding now to push your projects, to hire people. It's funds out here, man, where you can get the money to go build a whole organization around you because you got the funds. I got a business partner. He had got a $2.5 million grant, and he gave 10 organizations in the community $250,000 a piece from doing what they were already doing. Like, it's out here, man. Like, we just gotta learn how to go get it, learn how to educate ourselves to know where the direct funds at, and that comes from creating those entities, and learning the process behind it, getting your Duns and Bradstreet number, getting everything, getting those net
back up,
30
Louis,
accounts.
back up, Louis.
Yeah.
Listen, Louis. So this is the reason why I want to bring you on here, man. Because me and you talk about that BI, that business.
Yeah.
As me and I couldn't do the same. Why don't a lot of black and brown people know about the DUN number? Break that DUN number down. Why do they not know that the 95 South podcast or Lou Almighty, consulting? There are government programs out there with you getting that DUN number that, just like I got a homeboy that does photography. He got a DUN number. He got a government contract to do photography. That was a 2-year contract for $350,000. So that DUN number puts you in a whole different level. You don't become just a regular business owner. Then you a business owner, and plus you are a government employee. When I say employee, that DUN number allows you to work a different type of side of the paperwork. It's the 1099, but it's the government paperwork with the 1099. It's just different between a regular contract. Once you're a governmental contractor, that's a whole different level, and you're looked at different. You know what I mean? Especially by the RIS. So if you can chime in on that DUNS number.
Yeah, no, it's just our people lack the information and lack the knowledge. It's out here. We just overlook it, or we not necessarily talking to the right people. But man, the DUNS, that's a huge thing to have. But being in the business that I'm in now, it's one way bigger than that, man. You get that Sam's account. Yeah, you get that Sam's account directly through Uncle Sam. That's when you get bigger funding. That's when you get a chance to get those millions and anything past 500,000, because it's all about taxes when it comes to big money. And the big organizations, they don't want to fund a regular EIN or a regular DUNS because they're not able to take the tax benefits from it. So if you got those other accolades to back you up, you're able to get more money because these people are able to fund you, on a bigger scale, because they get their tax breaks. They're able to give out, these millionaires, man. It's a millionaire right now trying to figure out what to do with this last little bit of money he made. And he don't really want to necessarily put it into real estate, but he know he got to use it or taxes are going to take it away. So if he could find a person like you with a small business and you got all your accolades and your paperwork, everything together, and you got that Sam's account and that Dunn Street and that EIN, everything right, he going to pass you that bread because now there's a tax write-off for him. And, and like I say, our people just ain't, we just ain't educated on it. And, to put a disclaimer out there, I ain't no financial advisor or nothing like that. I'm just a regular old investor, a regular old person that invested into myself and saw the benefits myself and was able to, gain the knowledge and the information from going out here, put my feet out here in it, So I want to make sure that's clear first, because I don't want nobody try to take my advice and they do it the wrong way. I want you to do it right. Go educate yourself first. So that's the main ingredient, Jake. our people just ain't been educated. Some of them don't even know what a Don's number is, you know. So
Little man,
I would say
I
go
can tell
look
you
it
this.
up.
I can tell you this, man. Me and Nicole it was on a Saturday. This was about, I'm gonna say about 3 months ago. She said, I need you to get on a 3 hour call with me. I said, who we talking to, Obama? She said, you real funny, Jacob. She said, you real funny. I said, man, if we are, tell them have Michelle on Zoom because I need to see her and hear her voice. So she
Yeah,
was laughing, right? You know what I'm talking about? So she was laughing. She says, no, she said, we about to talk to this governmental organization. I said, hold up now. What type of government organization? She said, just get on the phone, boy. I was like, all right, man. So I got on the phone. This dude was a Navy SEAL before, got out the Navy. He became a contractual electric advisor for the Navy, where he go do all the wiring for the Navy bases. And after that, he said, well, do you guys have an EIN? She said, yes, I have an EIN for the PR firm. He said, do you have the Sam's account and the Dunn number? She said, no. So her cousin already had put her on game because her cousin was doing like 3 month contracts to do photography on a government contract at like $25,000 a pop. You know what I mean? So her cousin put her on game. So her cousin plugged it in, right? And she said, just listen. So what she did was she was like, give him your email address, Jacob. I'm gonna give him mine. She said, because I need you to know the insides and outs too. So sent the email address. He took us through the website. He took us through the bidding part, you know. He took us through how they post, how they come out with government contracts, and I'm like, God damn. And I'm seeing a deal on there for like somebody like you that do marketing, right? They was marketing um, uh, Indian grocery stores, right? Said the guy wanted to build 2 Indian grocery stores, and he needed what we call internal marketing and external marketing. Internal marketing, you know, the marketing that we don't see, but the external marketing, you know, the other side of marketing. So, but that contract was for like a 3 year contract for 6.5 million. I said, look here, boy. I got off that phone with Nicole. I said, man, did you apply? She said, yeah. So things in the background are working, but the Dunn's number, man. Like if you got a nonprofit organization, you got your Sam's, you know, you got your Dunn, and that nonprofit organization. Under that nonprofit, you got an LLC, a sole proprietorship, and you put the LLC and the sole proprietorship in a trust. Boy, that's a whole different level, Lou. Boy, that's a whole different
that's the
level.
game. That's the game
Man,
right there.
hey, Lou, when that white man was dropping them jewels like that, I said, man, he don't know us from a can of paint. He said, man, listen, I like y'all spirit, man. You know, he said most people just don't want to get on a call that's that long. 3 hours, most people can get a lot done in 3 hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But to get on the call and have a humbling experience like that, man, I was like, Lou, man, I was like, man, this is crazy, man. And then he said, well, you know, I just want to ask you, are y'all familiar with business credit? I said, I'm familiar. He said, what part? I said, well, I'm familiar. You know, you get your personal credit A1 first, then you go your business credit, then you get a line of credit. It might be for 30K, but you take about 8 grand out of that 30K and put into the trading lines. In the next 160 days, you get another line for 90K. You put another 8,000 back in the next 120 days. Here you go with another line of credit for about 270K. And so it's like a flip, but when you flip, you building that business credit up so much in a whole year's time, you'll have a line of credit for $1.5 million. He said, so you do understand? I said, I do. So that business credit, this whole different level, man.
Yeah, no, yeah. You got both of them. You can get loans from your personal credit and then get loans and lines of credits on your on your business credit. So you got money coming in on all angles. And then don't go get that
Yeah.
nonprofit organization. Now you got funds coming in that you ain't even got to touch or report. You only got to report 1% back from a nonprofit organization. So you make $1 million, you ain't got to show them but $1,000 to the tax people. So it's and then it's ways to beat that too by going out here getting insurance, getting
Man,
insurance
I was
policies
just
in your
about to say
business.
that, Lou. And Lou,
Get insurance
it's funny
policies
you
up
say
on your
that, man.
trust fund. Get insurance policies up on your LLCs, and that's a whole nother game, man. That's a whole nother tax bracket. You now you
Yeah,
up there competing with the billionaires and trillionaires of the world.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
you know what's funny? You know what's funny that he's saying y'all saying all this is because you said you was on a 3-hour call. This brother been on here for 40 minutes,
Yeah,
and he got my mind exploding. He got my mind all over the place because I'm learning. This is the main reason why I got excited about having him on this morning because I know you interviewed him, a few months back, but I just feel like we as people needed this information. So this is what I wanted to ask you because I know a lot of how we get sometime when because of somebody like yourself who's a consultant who you're gonna charge some fees or you're gonna charge somebody to help them. You know what I'm saying? So how is your setup? How is your situation set up? Is it set up like a platinum, gold, silver, packages, or how do you do things to kind of help people, especially to keep them in a budget or to say, listen, I'm trying to help you, what I mean, get to where you need to go without banging you across the head too crazy.
yeah. When you go to my booking site, I got a free 30-minute breakdown session for anybody that hit me up and saying they need consultation or just need an ear to check out their business plan or check out what they got going on. So if you select that breakdown session, that give you an opportunity to just break down everything that you're doing, everything you need help with. And now I can take that information and see, how I can really plant my resources and help you out so we can develop a real strong plan. And with everybody that I work with, we create a customized business plan for them. So, before you even get a chance to even pay me, my goal is to help create a opportunity for you to think on your own in that first hour or that first 30-minute session. So by the time we do come to the table, we both well aware on what our next step is before you even spend a dollar with me. I try to give people the opportunity because I come from that where I just needed an ear or I just needed a mentor. And most of my mentors, they came free. They came free at first. And then we had to start breaking bread. So I kind of use that same concept. I try not to charge up front, but yeah, like we say, we do charge for the knowledge that we do give because after you leave the table with me, man, you're gonna be buying your own potlucks. You're gonna be celebrating for yourself and your family because you're gonna win. So I give everybody that first opportunity to just come to the table with me.
So in other words, if somebody come and you see certain things that you may say, listen, this is the stuff you can all go ahead and do on your own before I even come to the table. Versus
Right.
like, some sharks in the water be like, oh, I'm gonna do all this for you, knowing that person could easily go get their LLC, the EIN, they could go ahead and get certain stuff done on their own, go ahead and get their stuff registered, their music get registered and get their own publishing done. They can do all that on their own before you even step in. And then when it comes to more of the strategic or the more technical stuff, that's when you say, okay, now you got all this, let's play ball. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Now when I'm getting out of that, okay.
Yeah, I want to take you direct to the funding because that's what half of our people lack, just the money behind it. We got the ideas and the creativity. Now we just need the money. So I want you to come to me when we ready to go break bread, when we ready to go talk to these people and go get this money because I don't want to waste time neither. I want to make sure we out here really building. I want to build a community. It's hard to build a community when you still lacking knowledge. So I want to give you the information first. So and then if you come back and you ain't learned, oh man, you're gonna have to pay me for all of it now, bro. You ain't even take the information that I gave you and run with it. So now I gotta charge you for all of it. So that's how I go sometime anyway.
Yeah, so what that? So I know you putting on a tour. You got this tour coming up, or you're in the midst of the tour. So basically, one, is it opportunity for artists to still get on, and two, how did that come about as far as you putting together a tour, and on what cities and stuff are you doing it in?
Yeah, yeah, we still got opportunities for artists. Just hit me up. We got different packages. We got headline opportunities too. Our goal right now is to get some more major artists a part of it. Each city we're gonna have a major artist for the artists to actually open up for. So it's gonna be a huge opportunity. But this actually came about from a relationship with my DJ. He ended up building relationships with this DJ coalition. Um, out in Florida and Atlanta, and they just built the relationship. So they just pulled me in to help bring the artists in. Help, my main portion is to educate the artists. So doing these tours, we're gonna be doing workshops and seminars, and I'm gonna be getting these Airbnbs where each city we're gonna have a music engineer inside the Airbnb. We're gonna be recording these mixtape projects and getting them distributed through either Empire or through a regular distributor. But my goal is to come in, help develop some of the new artists that just want to be on the road but ain't always there, so we can give them the information and the education so they can keep hitting the road. And the tour just come about from that strong relationship, just being out here, staying in the community, staying out here doing work, and that's what I tell the artist: just stay working. Somebody gonna find you.
So before we get out of here, just for the artists to understand on that level, they go out on this tour. I guess you got it set up with different packages. I guess you can go out for a certain amount of dates and
right,
or whatever. You can either go out for all the dates or a few spot dates here and there or whatever. So basically, understand getting the knowledge that y'all gonna have through the seminars, and I guess on their side, the most important thing is to be able to network and to be able to hone their craft as far as their stage presence and how to structure their music when they're on the stage and what songs to perform with and all that. So am I kind of getting that right when it comes to that part?
Right, exactly.
Okay, so I wish we had more time, brother, but unfortunately, well, I ain't gonna say unfortunately, but we have, our podcast is a lot different from a lot of other people. We have a lot of affiliates that we deal with, from Roku to radio stations. So we be on a time crunch, but we definitely trying to take ourselves to the next level or whatever. But I definitely want to thank you for coming on here to this morning, giving us the knowledge and things that we may need. Just let everybody know where they can find you, how they can reach you, and all that kind of good stuff, my brother.
Yeah, the best way to reach me is through my websites, classifiedmusicgroup.com. That's the artist development firm website. You can find all the social media and stuff on there. IamLouisD.com, LouAlmighty.com, classifiedapparel.co. I am Louis D on all social media platforms. But like I say, the best way to just get in tune on one-stop shop, just go to classifiedmusicgroup.com. That'll take you everywhere.
Okay. All right, man. I want to definitely appreciate you coming on and Jacob bringing you on here. He talk about you all the time or whatever, and the knowledge that you bringing into this business, because you definitely need it right now, especially the way the business is kind of upside down as far as the way these artists are moving and being reckless, and a lot of things that I'm just seeing that frustrates me with artists who getting the wrong information. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's why a lot of these artists are dropping the ball. They just getting the wrong information. They getting this social media information instead of somebody who's actually been through the trenches who can give them the correct information or whatever. So I definitely want to appreciate you coming on here, and hopefully we can have you back on again at another later date so you can continue to put us on game. So Jacob, you got anything else before we get out of here?
No doubt, man. I just want to say salute, bro, and we gonna chop it up, man. Just, man, keep grinding and just keep sharing. And most of all, man, keep putting that source of information so you can rebrand and restructure the community, man. I just say salute to you.
Yeah, likewise. I appreciate the invite. And to all the artists that's trying to reach out to me, Jacob is the official A&R. So hit my man Jacob up. If you're trying to get on the tour, if you're trying to get some artist development, even if you want to book a session to get out here and get your LLCs and stuff right, you know, just holler at my man Jacob, and you know, we'll get you lined up. We'll get you set up all the way right so you can get the funding and the right resources that you need to take yourself to the next level.
All right, and there it is, y'all, man. Another episode of 95 South Podcast. It's your boy Icon E, Jacob the Great, and my man, music executive, Classified Music Group /Empire. You know what I'm saying? Lou Almighty. We out of here, y'all. Y'all have a great
Peace.
Got the good vibe, got the 1942 pouring in my cup. In the session, real life.